Back live, we are covering special votes happens today and tomorrow. I want to take you straight now to KwaZulu-Natal. The Electoral Commission of South Africa is giving a briefing in terms of an update with regards to special votes. So we are about 3 hours in. Let's listen in.
Risk. For low risk, they deploy 2 members only. For medium risk, they deploy 4. For high risk, they deploy a minimum of 6. So that's basically the state of things in the province. And we will be having these regular briefings, and we are happy to take questions if there are any. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If there are any questions, we can take them now. Doesn't look like there is.
There is one from ETV.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, it's Jason from KZN.
I don't think your mic is on, but I can hear you.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to find out about any, I know you spoke about PPE and the delays with the trucks at the beginning. So, in terms of power and the arrangements made for that, you know, in some places where, for example, I mean, I know we're not load shedding now, but I'm talking about areas that do not have power. And arrangements were meant to be made for that. Is everything on track with that? The supplies that will be needed to make sure that those voting stations are illuminated?
Okay, thank you very much. We do have backup lighting in all voting stations, particularly the temporal voting stations where we are using tents. But for the purposes of the exercise that is currently underway, it has no significance whether we have electricity or not. For the voters' roll in particular, which we need to mark off when we administer voters, we have a hard copy voters' roll in voting stations, but we also have a live voters' roll on the VMD, the machine that we are using. If the VMD is not online, it can still be operated offline, and as soon as we regain connectivity, we can upload that information, because it's important that we capture the details of the voters that come in for our own operational purposes, but so that we also have the demographic data of our voters in the province after elections. So electricity is not an issue for us. Particularly, it doesn't interfere with our processes, whether we have it or not, but definitely on election day, it will be an issue. We close at 5 at voting stations today, or just after 5, depending on how long it takes the teams that are out to converge back at the voting station, and there's still a reconciliation exercise that needs to happen because they don't move around with ballot boxes when they administer home visits today. So they will converge at the voting station again in the afternoon and do a reconciliation and move those envelopes from the bags that they are carrying them with now into the ballot box and administer the marking of those voters on the voters' roll at the voting station. So if that process runs into 6 or 7, we will have a problem if there is lighting, but we do have the battery lighting that we procured for voting stations. We are hopeful that we won't have too many power interruptions, particularly for Monday, but for today we're fine because voting stations close at 5, or just after that when they finish the reconciliation. Thank you very much.
Good morning, I'm from the SABC. Of the number of special votes being cast in KZN this year, 54% of those are home visits. Is there any data or indication as to what comprises the reasons for this overwhelming number of home visits this year compared to other years?
Our assumption is that it's because people are becoming very much aware of our framework that makes provision for special votes, and that political parties are becoming more and more aware of the framework as well, which is the reason why we have seen such an increase in the number of special vote home visits. We have 2 categories. We have special votes for people like you and me who are going to be voting today or tomorrow in voting stations because we can't be in our voting stations on the 1st of November. But the home visits over 94,000 that we have in the province are people that are there because of reason related to infirmity, either people that are very ill to get themselves to voting stations, people with disabilities, as well as people that are pregnant who prefer to vote from the comforts of their homes. So that is the category of people that we visit at home. We do not necessarily categorize them. They all fall under home visits. So if you give one or two of those reasons, we automatically approve you for as long as you want to be visited in the voting districts that you are registered in. Ballot papers don't cross ward boundaries, so we cannot administer someone on a home visit if they are registered in a different ward and then hospitalized or institutionalized in a different ward. So the over 94,000 home visits that we will administer today is people that applied for a home visit and they are within the ward or voting districts where they ordinarily reside and where they are registered in terms of the certified voters roll. Thank you. Done. Thank you very much.
All right, the Electoral Commission of South Africa giving us a briefing there in KwaZulu-Natal. Look, KZN, as you know, is always in the national spotlight, so it's important to understand what is happening in that province. But basically, one of the big issues is the electricity issues. That was a question posed, and they were saying that they have backup lighting in various voting stations. I guess that's going to be the plan for Election Day throughout the country. So we will try to get, I think we picked it up a bit late there, we will come back to it and give you the big takeaways from that briefing in the next hour. So that is a live briefing from the Electoral Commission of South Africa in KwaZulu-Natal. Our reporters, no doubt, Ainam Tlongo, also Vusikumalo, on the ground for us. We will touch base with them and get a sense of what's happening in that province. So will we do also, we will be going throughout the country as well. All our journalists are on the ground monitoring special voting. It is taking place, started at 8 a.m., will conclude at 5 p.m.